I'm David Sinclair, and I'm a professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School, and I'm the co-director of the Paul F. Glenn Center for Biology of Aging Research.
Meet Dr. David Sinclair, professor of genetics at Harvard Medical School. He is famous for his research on longevity and extending human lifespan. This is Dr. Sinclair in 2013, and this is him now. He was 44 years old, and now he is 54, but to me, he kind of looks younger.
By living a healthy life, you can slow that rate of aging.
Over the years, the professor has changed the way he eats and changed his lifestyle scientifically. He says that his body is younger than ever before.
I've looked at my blood biochemistry, and I'm actually now younger and healthier than I've ever been. Testosterone, glucose, inflammation, blood cell composition. For most of those markers, I'm better than a 20-year-old for.
Have you ever wondered what Dr. David Sinclair does to live as long as possible? Stay tuned as we reveal David Sinclair's 5 scientifically backed habits for longer living. With these tips, you will be able to live a longer and happier life, but also reduce signs of aging on your body. And let's be honest, who doesn't want that? Number 1, what to eat and what to not eat. While this may sound obvious, Dr. David Sinclair has said that the type of food you eat can greatly impact your lifespan. A diet rich in nutrients that support cellular health and vitality is key.
But what do I recommend? Well, what the data says, which I try to follow, is that plant-based foods will be better than meat-based foods. And I know that there are a lot of people who disagree. But one of the facts is, there's a few facts. One is that people who live a long time tend to eat those type of diets. Mediterranean, Okinawa diet, they're eating mostly plants with a little bit of meat and not a lot of red meat. And the other fact is that in animals, we know that there's a mechanism that's called mTOR, little m, capital TOR, that responds to certain amino acids that are found in more abundance in meat. And when it responds, it actually shortens lifespan.
Dr. Sinclair changed his diet to try to live longer and be healthier. He started eating more like people do in the Mediterranean region. This means he ate more fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains. These foods are good for your heart and can help you live longer. Gradually, Dr. Sinclair cut down on meat, especially red meat like beef. He believes that eating less meat and more plant-based foods is better for health and longevity. He mentions that people who live a long time tend to eat more plants and less meat. Eating high levels of protein, especially from animal sources like red meat, can activate certain pathways in our cells called mTOR. mTOR is a key regulator of cell growth and metabolism. Excessive mTOR activation has been linked to accelerated aging and increased risk of age-related diseases like cancer. But it's not just about what to eat. It's also important to know what not to eat and what to limit in your diet. Let's hear what David has to say about this.
Right. Well, the big killer is sugar. Glucose, particularly fructose, is also pernicious. And if you give animals lots of glucose, and especially fructose, they will get fatty liver disease, they'll get diabetes. It's really bad.
David Sinclair emphasizes the significant impact of dietary changes on our health. His decision to cut out carbohydrates, specifically bread, shows that he is actively trying to manage blood sugar levels. Carbohydrates, especially refined ones like those found in bread, can cause rapid spikes in blood glucose, which over time may contribute to metabolic issues like diabetes and fatty liver disease. By eliminating or reducing these sources of carbohydrates, individuals can better regulate their blood sugar levels and potentially reduce their risk of developing such health conditions. Also, Sinclair's emphasis on reducing sugar intake, particularly fructose, highlights another critical aspect of a healthy diet. Excessive consumption of sugar, especially in the form of added sugars commonly found in processed foods and sugary beverages, has been linked to various metabolic disturbances and chronic diseases. High sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance, weight gain, and ultimately increase the risk of developing diabetes and cardiovascular problems. So the next time you're thinking about a sugary treat, think about Dr. David Sinclair's statements. Number 2, exercises to slow aging. Dr. Sinclair emphasizes the importance of regular exercise for longevity. He suggests exercising 3 times a week to the point where you lose your breath.
For example, there are studies of cyclists. It was something like people that cycle over 80 miles a week have a 40% reduction in a variety of diseases, certainly heart disease. So that's not even a question. But what's interesting is that we're learning that you don't need much to have a big benefit. It's an asymptotic curve. And in fact, if you overdo it, you probably have reduced benefits, particularly if you start to wear out joints, that kind of thing. But just 10 minutes on a treadmill a few times a week, lose your breath, get hypoxic as it's called, seems to be very beneficial for long-term health. And that's the kind of exercise that I like to do.
This level of exercise stimulates the body's stress response, leading to improved muscle development, better blood flow, and the release of chemicals that slow aging. When your body responds in a positive way to grow muscle, get better blood flow, and also your tissues will put out chemicals that prevent aging. So if you can only lose your breath for 10 minutes 3 times a week, that can give remarkable health benefits, reducing illness rates by 30%. Number 3, important eating habits for longevity. The most important eating habit for longevity. Dr. Sinclair practices intermittent fasting, eating within a 6-hour window each day, and sometimes skipping meals altogether. This approach triggers the body's defenses against aging and promotes autophagy, the process of recycling proteins. Intermittent fasting has also been shown to support brain health and cognitive function by promoting the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a protein that supports nerve cell growth and function. Intermittent fasting can also improve heart health by reducing risk factors such as cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and triglycerides.
One meal a day and have a late lunch or an early lunch, depending on which one you're skipping. And that uses the period of sleep as a fasting state. And then what I do is I skip breakfast, and often I skip lunch as well. And so I'm getting actually more like 20 hours of fasting on a good day. I will say that today I had a little bit of avocado for breakfast because I had to get up really early. So I'm not perfect, and I don't think anyone should strive to be perfect, but you do what you can.
Adopting a regimen of 1 meal a day, with the timing of lunch adjusted accordingly, allows for the utilization of the fasting period during sleep. Skipping breakfast and sometimes lunch can extend the fasting window to approximately 20 hours on some days. While consistency is ideal, occasional deviations from the routine are acceptable, as it's important to prioritize individual needs and circumstances over perfection. This approach emphasizes flexibility and personalization in achieving dietary goals and fasting benefits. Number 4, supplements for longevity. You might have wondered, does Dr. David Sinclair take any supplements? Let's hear what he takes for anti-aging purposes.
Right. So let's take them one by one. Resveratrol is a small, what's called a polyphenol. It's produced by many plants to survive. It's produced by grapes, and it's concentrated in red wine, get absorbed. So do that. Why does it work? Well, we have shown in many animal studies, and people have now shown in human studies, that it's activating one of the main sirtuin pathways called SIRT1, and it does that like an accelerator pedal. The chemical resveratrol will bind to the enzyme and make it work faster. Now, that's the accelerator pedal for SIRT1. The gas, or the petrol, is NAD. NAD is a molecule that we need for life. Without it, we're dead in 30 seconds. I do take one other drug called metformin, which is a type 2 diabetes drug that has been shown to associate with longer life and less diseases in old age by looking at type 2 diabetics. And there's a stunning fact that type 2 diabetics that would normally have a short lifespan, when they take metformin, typically at 2 grams a day.
In conclusion, Dr. David Sinclair's journey and research offer valuable insights into the science of longevity and the potential for extending human lifespan. By adopting key habits, such as a plant-based diet, regular exercise, intermittent fasting, and supplementation, individuals can optimize their health and well-being for a longer and healthier life. As we reflect on Dr. Sinclair's findings, it becomes clear that small changes in lifestyle can have profound effects on our longevity and overall health. Whether it's choosing to eat more plant-based meals, incorporating regular exercise into our routines, or experimenting with intermittent fasting, each step brings us closer to a healthier future. So why not take the first step today? Consider implementing some of Dr. Sinclair's recommendations into your own life and experience the benefits firsthand. Together, let's embark on a journey towards a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on health, wellness, and longevity. Join us as we explore the science behind living your best life, one day at a time. Start your journey to a healthier future today.